Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Harrah's Hoosier Park as we are on the road to the Derby with the Road to the Derby Challenge. Michael Chamberlain and Jacob Reinheimer here in the Dan Patch studio. And Jacob, Saturday is 5 weeks to Kentucky Derby Day, so things are really hotting up now.
In crunch time for this Road to the Derby, the
Yes.
contest too. Last 2 weeks of the contest, but we're going to squeeze 5 races in the
And
last
we got a
2 weeks.
doubleheader this week and a triple header next week.
This is a whale of a doubleheader, though. The Florida Derby as well as the Arkansas Derby, a great week always in racing.
Yes, and the Florida Derby is the race we're going to discuss in this video as we have a field of 10 going a mile and an eighth down there in Gulfstream in South Florida, the Grade 1 $1 million Curlin Florida Derby. So this one, we're going to put the picks up here and basically, we kind of think the same on this race. Our top pick, our co-top pick here is the 10 Sovereignty, who won the Fountain of Youth in what I think was the most Kentucky Derby-like performance for a winner that we've seen thus far in the prep races, because he just ran an outstanding race that day.
Yeah, absolutely. Got away towards the back end of that field, left himself a lot of work to do, and just kept rolling to chase down River Thames right at the line to get the job done by a neck. And like you said, he has experience over Churchill Downs as well.
Right.
He won the Street Sense going back to last October. This was the first time we'd seen him since that win in the Street Sense on March 1st in the Fountain of Youth, and he couldn't have looked any better.
And it's an odd 4 races he had, because the 2 maiden races he lost.
Yep.
The 2 graded races he won. So he really is coming into his own now that Fountain of Youth was his first start of 2025. So second start off the break here. Buy Into Mischief out of a Bernardini mare. Trainer is Bill Mott. Bill Mott has won the Kentucky Derby previously. He did it with Country House the year of the disqualification of Maximum Security. So kind of wonder if he doesn't want to get a second shot at that apple,
I think he'd like to cross the wire first in the Kentucky Derby. Obviously, you're glad to get it any way you can get it, but yeah, you'd love to have the one who actually crosses the wire first.
Now, our co-second pick in here is the 9 Tappan Street, another Into Mischief horse. This one is out of a Distorted Humor mare. A win and a second in 2 previous starts at Gulfstream. The Holy Bull was his last effort, finished second there to Burnham Square, but was the betting favorite that day.
I thought it was a good effort, though. He got the lead turning for home, and then Burnham Square chased him down right at the end. But that's his first time jumping into that kind of company. He was racing against Maiden Company to get his first win at 7 furlongs at the end of last December before jumping into that Holy Bull. So I thought he made a nice name for himself against Graded Stakes Company there.
And that's a Brad Cox trainee with Luis Saez riding for the 3rd consecutive time. Will be interesting to see how this one should go, because, again, you kind of think he's going to be close to Sovereignty most of the way around, because their running styles seem very similar.
Yep. Yeah, I'd absolutely say that, especially the way Tappan Street raced in the Holy Bull, got away towards the back end of the field, then made a big move around the last turn and just kind of ran out of steam, very similar to how Sovereignty went around the Fountain of Youth.
Then we know it's starting to heat up on the Derby Trail when Bob Baffert starts throwing some horses into these races, and he's got one here with the 8 Mataket Road. They're taking the blinkers off here. This horse, by Quality Road, out of a Smoke Glacken mare. Now, see, that bottom side scares me, because Smoke Glacken was not necessarily a distance horse. Quality Road, yes, but the bottom side is a little bit interesting there. In the last 2 races, at a mile and a 16th, were 3rd and a 2nd. He was second at Coal Battle in the Rebel, and Coal Battle's going to be in the other race coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, Mataket Road did all the heavy lifting throughout the Rebel. He was the one cutting the race there before he got tracked down at the end by Coal Battle. You do wonder a little bit, is it a distance concern, as you mentioned, with the bottom half of the pedigree, or was it that he just got a little bit tired in that spot and chased down by a nice horse in Coal Battle who's going to take a lot of play in that Arkansas Derby? So I don't know if this is necessarily one of the best Baffert horses that he's sending into this Road to the Derby, but certainly could be a factor here.
Our 4th choice is the horse on the rail, number 1, Neo Equus, who was 3rd behind Sovereignty in the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth. Had won the time before at Gulfstream in a 6 furlong sprint on January 23rd. Did put up a bullet work on March 16th, going 5 furlongs in 58 and 4. This horse has plenty of early speed, did draw the rail, which should be a benefit for that style. But, I'm not sure this one's going to have the staying power come Saturday.
That's the concern here, but I do think he is probably the likely speed of the races.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of speed, maybe Mataket Road from the outside and a couple of others in between, but I think he should be able to get to the front. He just needs to hold on to a piece, but I don't know if I like him nearly as much as those outside two.
Yeah, I agree. The 3 horses on the outside certainly certainly do seem to be the class here. And one other horse we should mention is the 4 Disruptor from the Rapoli stable. Only 2 starts previously. One the last one on March 1st. Todd Pletcher is the trainer, and Irad Ortiz is going to ride. This is a gun runner colt that was a $1.15 million purchase at Keeneland in September of 2023 by Gunrunner, but the bottom half here out of a Speightstown mare. Now, Speightstown, a Breeders' Cup Sprint winner, so it will be interesting to see if this one can keep going the longer distances. You notice in that 7 furlong win on March 1st, just kept going and going and ended up winning by over 7 lengths.
Yeah, 9 1/4 there to get the job done against Maiden Company going that 7 furlongs distance. Todd Pletcher's been pretty quiet on the road to the Derby to this point, so he's trying to get a couple ready for that first Saturday in May. As I said, distance the real concern there.
So again, a field of 10 going postward in the Florida Derby, Grade 1 on Saturday at Gulfstream Park, part of a very big card that they have. This is the 14th of 14 races on Saturday. The post time expected to be about 6:45 on Saturday evening. So certainly while you're here watching the live races at Harrah's Hoosier Park, be sure to check out the Florida Derby on the road to the Derby and get into the contest, of course, at any of our trackside promotional kiosks.
Yeah, looking forward to it again. Just 5 races left in this road to the Derby.
I need to pick a winner. Okay, I have to win one of these races this week because I gotta get off the schneid.
I got off to an okay start, but then it's kind of fallen apart for me down here down the stretch. But yeah, there's still a lot of room though for growth up that leaderboard. You can shoot up that leaderboard in these last couple of weeks, so be sure to get out here and play along. We have the $25 winners for each contest race, so even if you're not live for that $2,000 grand prize, you can still come out, win $25 playing along with Road to the Derby.
And that's our look at the Florida Derby coming up on Saturday. You can watch and wager on all the Gulfstream excitement right here at Harrah's Hoosier Park. For Jacob Reinheimer, I'm Michael Chamberlain, wishing the best of luck to you all.